We are live. All right. So welcome to another episode of the HODL Club with Jasson and Avinash. Hey, Jasson, how's it going?
What's up, Avinash? What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I mean, living the dream on a Sunday evening in Washington D.C. So, yeah. So
I'm feeling
piggybacking.
good too, man. I'm feeling good.
Yeah,
Bitcoin's back above 48K. Thank goodness.
yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for that 100K marker to have a throw a party, join a party. So
hmm
yeah. I think we're gonna hit that 100K mark sooner than later. I mean, I there's so much ecosystem development that I see. Neobanks kind of building mobile apps that are like crypto native. I think in the state of Wyoming, I saw on Twitter recently. I should have saved that tweet somewhere, but there's some sort of a crypto native bank now in the US where, like, instead of holding US dollars as your like base currency, it's going to store, I don't know if it's Bitcoin or any crypto, but I think there's like a bank that will hold your money in Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
and I think that just happened like in the last couple of weeks actually. So
Wow.
um,
Wow.
I'm
There's
gonna
so
have to
much.
add that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to add that to the show notes at the end of the notes, end of the show. Um, so jumping in, piggybacking on our conversation last week, uh, we were talking about Cosmos and the relevance of Cosmos within within the Web3 crypto blockchain ecosystem. So just wanted to kind of piggyback on that, get the
Absolutely.
conversation started with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I've prepared a few slides. So what
Yeah,
I can do is I can actually share my screen and we can kind of dig into a little bit more detail this time.
yeah,
I wanted to really break down for you. I know Cosmos is one of those protocols that you probably haven't been following as closely as I have. So I wanted to like
yeah,
kind of get into the weeds a little bit here.
yeah.
So let me share my screen. Give me 1 second here.
Sure.
Share screen.
Okay, good to see your screen there.
Now, are you seeing the presentation
I
or are
see
you
I see your
seeing?
entire screen with the slide notes.
All right, let me stop the share. Let me do that over again because I want you to see the presentation view,
Sure. Yeah,
not the actual.
I got you. I'm trying to see. I think maybe I'm trying to see advanced sharing options. I think it's like it you have to share the whole screen,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So maybe I think if you put your slides in full screen mode,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I don't know, like there's a way to like, all right. So I think I see your screen there, Jasson.
All right, here we go. All right. So let's talk Cosmos, bro. So Cosmos, I really feel like Cosmos is one of those foundational Web 3.0 protocols that's going to stand the test of time. I know you're going to get into what Web 3.0 is later on, so I'll just kind of like leave that for you to explain. But we are at the very early stages of Web 3.0. There's literally like thousands of coins, thousands of tokens that are out there right now, and most of which, unfortunately, are probably going to go to zero. So be careful what you invest in. But we're the HODL club, right? So we're interested in HODLing. We want to know what are going to be those protocols that are going to stand the test of time that we can HODL for an extended period of time and not have to worry about it going anywhere. I really feel like Cosmos is one of those protocols. So let's break it down. So what exactly is Cosmos? So the name of the game when it comes to Cosmos is interoperability. The whole point of the project is to have interoperability between the blockchains that are part of Cosmos itself that are built using all of the Cosmos tools and services and protocols, but also to do interoperability among those blockchains that are not part of the inherent Cosmos ecosystem. So I'll explain how that all works later. Now, Cosmos has three main components that make up the protocol, that make up the service. The first one is the Tendermint BFT, Byzantine fault tolerance. That's the consensus mechanism and the application interface. There is the Cosmos SDK, and there's the inter-blockchain communication protocol. So let's kind of dive into each of these different areas here.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about Tendermint. So Tendermint, Byzantine fault tolerance. That is the consensus mechanism, and it's also the application interface. So I won't get too detailed into how the actual consensus mechanism works, but long story short is basically you have instant finality with the Tendermint core consensus mechanism, and it has scalability all the way up to a couple of thousand transactions per second. So it does a really good job in terms of scalability. It has a really secure consensus mechanism. The only thing you're probably sacrificing with the Tendermint core is decentralization. I think it has a maximum of approximately 130 validators, which that's kind of a low number. It's actually very low in terms of decentralization, but you sacrifice that in order to get a lot of good scalability and a lot of good security. Now, there's also an application interface. They call it the application blockchain interface, ABCI. And that allows you as a developer to pretty much use any language that you want. If you are a Go developer, Java developer, C# developer, you can use any of those languages to build on top of the Cosmos platform.
Okay. So I'm assuming that's part of the SDK, right?
Yep, exactly. So the SDK, it is basically, it's like a totally separate layer from the consensus and the networking layer. And so the unique part about Cosmos SDK is that not only can you build smart contracts, you can actually build your own sovereign layer 1 blockchains using the Cosmos SDK. And there's like hundreds of projects now that have already done that. So for example, the Binance Smart Chain was developed using the Cosmos SDK. Thorchain, Terra, these are all really prominent blockchains. These are all layer 1 blockchains that was built using the Cosmos SDK. And so these blockchains are able to be built using the Cosmos SDK because they built it so that you basically kind of like separate the consensus and the networking layer. It kind of takes care of all of that for you, and all you really got to focus on are the specific attributes of your blockchain. Like, what are the specific things that you want your blockchain to do? You're able to abstract away the underlying like plumbing of how a layer 1 blockchain works and only focus on the things that you want to be unique for your blockchain.
Sure. A quick question there, Jason, from a consensus standpoint, right? Like, how, you said the finality is instant in Cosmos. If it's instant, does it, I mean, so in Bitcoin, right, like you need like 6 confirmations for finality, right? So like, how does Cosmos work? Like, how many confirmations? And like, I mean, without getting into the details of the consensus mechanism, I don't know if you can talk a little bit about that. Like,
yeah, that's a really good question. Honestly, like down to that level of granularity, like I'm still actually kind of doing my research on that.
Okay.
I know that it's definitely so you're right. So when it comes to like proof of work blockchains, they have a probabilistic finality rather than deterministic finality.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's basically the Tendermint BFT. It does deterministic finality. Exactly how many confirmations, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
But it is able to do instant finality. And that actually is going to come up later when we talk about the IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, and the differences that you have to account for proof of work blockchains versus proof of stake blockchains in order to have the interoperability. So I'll actually kind of touch on that a little bit later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Because I was curious what the, what a validator within Cosmos, what's the function of a validator, and especially when it's inter-blockchain communication, what's the scope of the validators, work, for lack of a better word.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the IBC. So the IBC, again, is the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. Now, this is what allows pretty much any blockchain to be able to communicate with each other through Cosmos. Now, what exactly does that mean? Now, I told you about the Cosmos SDK, right? You can build your own layer 1 blockchains using the Cosmos SDK. So there's just inherent functionality. If you use the Cosmos SDK, you're going to be able to communicate and interoperate with other blockchains built using the Cosmos SDK, right? And the way that you're able to do that is through the IBC. Now, the IBC has two different services. One is the hub service and the other is the zone service. Well, really, they're actually, I should call them blockchains more so than services. So the zone blockchains are the actual blockchains that you want to talk to each other. So one zone could be the Binance Smart Chain, another one can be Terra, another one can be any other blockchain built using the Cosmos SDK. Now the hubs are themselves also blockchains that are designed to allow all of those different layer 1 blockchains to talk to each other. And so each of these layer 1 blockchains can connect to a hub, and through that hub, they're able to actually transact with each other. So you can basically transfer tokens from one sovereign blockchain to another sovereign blockchain through a hub. And so how is this different from the way that blockchains connect prior to Cosmos, right? So usually what happens before Cosmos, the way that two blockchains would talk to each other is that you would create a bridge between the two blockchains, right? So you would create a bridge, and through that bridge, one layer 1 blockchain is able to talk to a second layer 1 blockchain. Now, that works when you're talking about connecting two separate blockchains, but what if you want to connect 50 different blockchains? Well, you have to create a bridge for each one of those blockchains, not only with each other, but with the other ones that are in the group that you want to connect, right? And so the number of bridges that you would have to connect, it increases quadratically the more blockchains that you actually want to connect together. And so Cosmos solves this problem by, instead of having a bridge between each blockchain, there's one hub. It's kind of like a hub and spoke model. There's one hub that all of the blockchains will connect to instead of each blockchain bridging to each other.
That makes sense. That's a much better design pattern than, more of a mesh-based network where like you have a one-to-one bridge between each blockchain, and that'd be kind of like hard to navigate, especially from like a developer standpoint.
Exactly. You would literally have to manage like thousands of bridges.
Absolutely. That makes sense.
The other way.
Yeah.
So that was like one of their big innovations, is to be able to do that. And so not only, so wait, before I talk about other blockchains. So real quick, the way that you're able to interoperate with different blockchains using these hubs, it's really similar to the way that a bridge works. So if, for example, you're on your, layer 1A and you want to transfer tokens to layer 1B, you would essentially lock those tokens on layer 1A, and layer 1B would confirm that those tokens have been locked, and then create kind of like a copy of those tokens on layer 1B. And then you would be able to conduct transactions on layer 1B using those locked tokens on layer 1A. So it's pretty similar to how a bridge works. So that part is pretty common for what folks are used to right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have some like probing questions, but maybe I can ask at the end if you have if you want to like keep
Yeah,
going.
I got just a couple more, so I can just
Okay.
kind of run through these last ones.
Yeah.
Now here is where, when we are talking about a proof of stake, when we're talking about a proof of work blockchain that you want to connect to a proof of stake blockchain or to a Tendermint based blockchain. So as we mentioned before, proof of work blockchains have probabilistic consensus and finality. And so you have to add another little piece to the IBC in order for it to work. It's called the peg zone. And within the peg zone, that is what actually is able to kind of like do the finality of the transaction before it actually goes over into the Tendermint based blockchain or to some other proof of stake blockchain. And so that is how the IBC kind of handles interoperability between proof of stake blockchains and proof of work blockchains, is using these peg zones. So basically,
Gotcha.
We're able to actually have not only Cosmos SDK based blockchains interoperate, but pretty much any blockchain. That's why they call it the Internet of Blockchains, is because they've developed technology that easily makes it available for all blockchains to be connected and to exchange tokens from any one layer 1 blockchains to any other layer 1 blockchains.
Interesting. Yeah, that's super interesting, especially with the peg, right? Like, so I'm curious, is the peg basically adding some sort of a delay to like get the 6 confirmation probabilistic finality, which is not 100%, but it's like close to 100%. So like it waits for like the 6 confirmations before resolving the peg, or like I'm curious like what the peg zone is doing.
Yeah, man, you stumping me, bro. You asking me a lot of detailed questions here.
Yeah, hey, what we can do is, hey Jason, what we can do is we can have some of these questions. I'll like post some of these in the show notes, and then like we can go back and forth that way. Like we're reinforcing our knowledge, and anybody watching these videos can also learn from that. So, yeah.
So yeah, I can certainly maybe we can do a follow-up where I dive even deeper. But yeah, I mean, I can certainly follow back up with you about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
All right. So it's basically, this is an entire ecosystem of blockchains that we're able to build using Cosmos. And so there's right now about 256 apps and services that are created using the Cosmos SDK and Tendermint.
Yeah.
And if you add up all of the value locked in all of the blockchains, it's over $113 billion right now.
Okay.
So this is like a major ecosystem of blockchains and services and protocols. It has so much room to run. I believe right now it's probably number 22 in market cap among all blockchains. I think it's at like $39 right now. It is easily something that should be in the top 10 in terms of market cap value. it should be somewhere in the $120 to $150 range. If it actually breaks the top 10, which I think over the next 18 to 24 months, maybe even less than that, based on the tokenomics, based on the growth that I see in all of the different protocols that are out there right now. They actually just released the DEX on the Cosmos blockchain. It's called the Gravity DEX, which, long story short, because of the IBC, you're able to do what the centralized exchanges are able to do. So you know how normally if you want to exchange your Ethereum for, I don't know, BNB, you have to go onto a centralized exchange and you have to pay these crazy fees. You have to pay crazy gas fees for you to do that. And you have to do it manually, and it's a pain in the ass. So the IBC allows you to do that pretty much instantaneously, like for pennies on the dollar in terms of fees. And so it's like a game-changing technology that they're developing here. And interoperability is going to be the key for all of these different blockchains to make it, because you can't have these like siloed ecosystems. You have to have them be able to talk to each other. So there's just so much growth potential. I really feel like it can grow to the $100 to $150 range within the next 12 to 24 months, maybe even sooner if we have a really good last quarter of the year, which I'm anticipating. You know, the first few days of October have already been pretty amazing. Jerome Powell, he kind of backed off of crypto. He said they're not going to be going after crypto.
Well, I think he mentioned like they're not going to be going after Bitcoin, but yeah, that, you know, that kind of like translates to crypto in general, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin definitely is going to be safe. It's truly decentralized. There's, you know, it's not a security. We are, you know, everyone agrees on that one. In general, though, I mean, I think it's looking like especially after such a tough September, I think the last quarter of the year is going to be pretty strong. So definitely looking forward to seeing how this all plays out.
Yeah, no, thanks, Jason. I mean, I think Cosmos from like a you know, design pattern standpoint, from a developer's point of view, does definitely seem to offer some unique advantages. But this general hub and spoke model is used by Ethereum as well, right? So like when you talk about wrapped tokens, you know, wrapped Filecoin or wrapped Bitcoin or whatever else, it's basically a similar hub and spoke model, right? Where like you've got your token that gets wrapped, and you know, there's some sort of an escrow smart contract where those tokens are locked, and then you get this like ERC20 token within Ethereum that you can trade. So like in some ways, I feel like it's still using this hub and spoke model, and you know, for obvious reasons, Binance didn't want to use the ERC20 model, right? Because they're trying to directly compete with Ethereum in some ways. But you know, Cosmos clearly has like, you know, this is like, you know, Terra, you know, Mirror, so many other you know, well-known you know, protocols, projects that they're all on Cosmos. So like, you know, I think it's here to stay. I'm just like concerned in terms of their moat to be able to continue to you know, to grow, for, you know, especially if you're a new developer trying to build some sort of cross blockchain solution, going to Cosmos versus you know, using some sort of a bridge on Ethereum, or Polkadot. Polkadot's something we haven't really talked about, actually. So that's something that I definitely want to ask you some questions on. Like, what do you think of Cosmos compared to Polkadot?
So I think Polkadot definitely, I look at Polkadot more as a competitor to Ethereum versus what Cosmos's mission and what their goal is. Polkadot definitely, the same way that Ethereum can, you can do wrapped tokens on other blockchains with Ethereum, you can do the same thing with Polkadot. The difference, though, I think, is that the ability for Cosmos to connect with all blockchains right now, like there's no need for them to create a separate wrap token service.
Sure. Yeah.
It's something that you have to make a, so that was what we were talking about before, right? Where if you want to build that bridge, that's how the bridge works. You build the bridge, you're able to do wrap tokens onto other blockchains using the token from your blockchain. But it takes a lot of development, it takes a lot of maintenance. You have to do it for every single blockchain that you want to connect to. So again, you have to just increase your resources quadratically the more and more blockchains you actually want to connect with and have wrap tokens on. Where with Cosmos, they've already solved the problem and all blockchains can now interact with Cosmos right now.
Oh, really? So I thought like each spoke has to be added to the hub.
Yeah, so the hub is already, there's a Cosmos hub that's available right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, all you have to do is connect your blockchain to that hub and it works.
I got you. Okay, so that hub and spoke connection must be way easier than building a bridge on Ethereum using some sort of a wrap token with a smart contract, etc.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So that is definitely a smoother, less friction experience than
Exactly.
doing something on Ethereum. Okay. Super interesting. Yeah. Thanks, Jasson. That was really good, man. I think we're gonna have to maybe like do another session digging in deeper on how the hub and spoke model works and how a blockchain can actually connect to the Cosmos hub using the SDK.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe
we're
we can get somebody from
getting
like
way
Cosmos
down.
or somebody to come on the show or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can
Yeah.
actually get one of the developers to really break it down, because you're stumping the crap out of me, man. Like you're really asking some really detailed questions. It actually would, that's a good idea. We should probably reach out to them.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll reach out to somebody on Twitter and we'll see. We'll see if somebody
Okay.
responds. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. Good times, Jasson. And I think we're like a little bit over the 30-minute mark. So
oh wow,
let's
that's 30 minutes
continue.
already. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Let's continue again next week. Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Thanks.